The event I chose was the San Diego Chargers versus the Green Bay Packers, which ended up being considered the turnover fest. Some of the storylines coming into the game were the first female ref, Shannon Easton, how she would do, how she would hold up against the big guys. She'd be intimidated by the big guys out there on the field. Another one would be the replacement officials themselves. Are they starstruck? Are they intimidated? Are they going to be pushed around? Are they going to get the calls right? Are they going to make calls? Who knows with these guys, because they just don't know what they're doing out there quite yet. Another storyline coming into the game was Shannon Easton's the first female official. Her hat and her whistle are going directly into the Hall of Fame after the game, which is pretty cool. Another storyline coming in is the how the backups, how the rookies, how all their draft picks, backups, and reserves do. Are they going to be what they cracked up to be? I know for the San Diego Chargers, the rookie defensive end linebacker Ingram out of South Carolina was amazing. He was a stud. He tore it up out there the whole game. Another storyline coming in is the position battles. Say the San Diego Chargers kicking position is with Nate Kading and Nick Novak, and how'd that play about? I know Nate Kading was hurt all of last year, so they brought Novak in to be the kicker, and how's that going to come about of it? How the announcers connect with the audience is they're smart. They ask you questions that make you think. Like John Gruden asked how it would be for Jeff Saturday to play for Peyton Manning all these years, considerably the best quarterback in the NFL for all those years, 16 years I believe, and to go from Indianapolis to Aaron Rodgers in the Green Bay Packers. Think about how different that would be with the audibles, the play calling abilities, snap counts. How would that affect you? That was a good question that he asked throughout the game. He seems to know a lot more than what Mike Tirico does on Monday Night Football. I know they got rid of Ron Jaworski. He's not on Monday Night Football anymore, which is kind of sad because he was also a great commentator. These guys are smart though. They know everything. Where they went to college, what they do, what they eat. Basically, they get into all of that with every player. They know their stats. They know their history. They know their growing up problems. It's amazing how much they know and how much they study the game to be that good. Another reason how they connect with the audience is they have the sideline reporters. They go and talk to the stars who you want to see and get the interviews with them. And that's pretty cool for the NFL to do that. Some storylines that developed during the game, I'd say could be the turnovers basically, and the mistakes that the teams were making and the officials were making. At the end of the first quarter, it was 7 points with 5 turnovers. That's just unheard of with professional sports. You don't make that many mistakes in the first. It is preseason, but you don't make that many mistakes in the first game. Another storyline that happened mid-game is how Shannon Easton did. She wasn't afraid to call penalties, get in the mix, pull people off the pile. And all that. She did a very good job. Another storyline that developed during the game would be San Diego just punished the Green Bay Packers. It just made them look like a junior varsity team. It was ridiculous how they played compared to the Packers. Not a Chargers fan, but that was amazing. How they did good. Another storyline, Antonio Gates coming back from a couple years of injury-filled seasons. He came back and he played pretty good. He starting to look like his old self again. So that's good to have, is him being a good back to being a good tight end again. How the event was covered in social media, and how it integrated the broadcast into social media. Uh, didn't really broadcast too much of it into social media. At halftime, the the broadcasters, I guess you'd say, they had showing highlights of the game, had Twitter feeds going on about how their players were doing or how their teams were doing or their favorite players. So you could always tweet about how good they are. But how it was in the broadcast, people were commenting on ESPN about how they were either for or against the first female ref, saying that it's a man's sport, don't let her in. Why can't she be in? Because she's a lady. Uh, another way it is, right after an injury in the first quarter to Desmond Bishop of the Green Bay Packers, their linebacker. It was on Twitter right away. It was right there on Twitter. It also had that their starters, the Green Bay Packers starters, would play 20 to 25 snaps to start the game, and then they'd be taken out. So Twitter wasn't too much involved, and the social media wasn't too much involved in how this game took place. So I don't know, if not as much as what NASCAR would be, I guess. So general observations that I've noticed throughout the event was, I know that we talked about Tim Tebow in the Wimba session. They talked about him again the other day, or that game, with him running around without a shirt on. Tim Tebow, goodness. Another thing about ESPN just evolving, just what new equipment's going to come out, what they talk about for equipment, replays, equipment. It's just amazing at what they're going to do. So that's, in conclusion, I watched the Green Bay Packers versus San Diego Chargers, and that's it.